Hi everybody. So I'm sitting here with my ball python. As you can tell, I am recording on my phone, so it's gonna be like a little edgy on my recording. No, go to bed. So I'm switching hands now so that way I can hold my phone with the better hand and show you guys our snake. Okay, so we found out our snake is a female, and how you can tell is by the tail. Come here, Snakey. She's scared right now. Okay, so by the tail, female tails are like skinny like this. Male tails have the thickness that go all the way down to like about right here, and then it gets skinny. So this is a female. Another way you can tell is by probing it, but that's literally just sticking like a crochet needle up their butt. If you don't want one stuck up your butt, don't do it to them. So this is our ball python. She is a normal ball python. We did get her at, well, we didn't get her. Our neighbor got her, and the wife said no, so we got her. But we got her from our neighbor, and when we got her, she was stuck in shed, which I will give you guys tips on how to fix that if your ball python is stuck in shed. And it's a actually easy tip where you won't hurt your snake. It won't hurt them at all. It's actually very gentle, and she's trying to climb up me. It's very gentle. You don't hurt them, and you go at their pace. You know, if they start getting scared, then you stop for a little bit and then do it again. So basically, what I did was I took lukewarm water, you know, kind of like what you would put a baby in, like that type of bath. And then I just, like, she was stuck in shed, like here up to her head. So what I did was I dipped her in water, and then I took her head like this, okay, and then I just slowly went this way. You go against the skin, not with the skin. So the skin goes this way. Okay, go down there. So the skin goes this way. So basically, if your animal is stuck in shed, you just dip them in lukewarm water or let them soak for a minute, and then you rub them this way, very gently. And as you're rubbing them and they're dripping wet, you'll see the shed lightly come off. And then when it comes to their head, if they're very docile like my snake is, they'll let me touch their head and won't get scared. So as you can tell, I'm petting her head and she's fine. So when it came to getting the shed off of her head, all I did was just lightly do this, and it slowly came down, and eventually the eye caps came off. And I can tell you right now, when she was stuck in the shed, she ate for us, but she didn't strike at it. We had to put it on the bedding that we had at the time, and she protected it and then eventually ate it. It literally took her twice as long to eat than what it did when I got her eyes uncovered. Hi. Yes, she's exploring. So we named her Snakey because it's something easy for my son to say, and my daughter. They both go crazy over her. My daughter, she wants to squeeze her, so she is only 11 months old, but my daughter wants to squeeze her, and my son wants her to climb all over him. So this is our Snakey. We have had her for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, and she's ate 3 times for us. She's actually a really good eater. She's very fast. She coils them for maybe like 5 minutes, and then she'll start chomping down. Why are you shaking? No, she's shaking. Okay, so the type of bedding we use is a coconut fiber, which I am going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys our little setup and what we have, and, you know, tell you what we did wrong. She does not want to go back in the tank. So basically right now I'm just, I opened up the easy access lid that we have, so that way I can easily put her in there, so that way I'm not worried about dropping her while trying to lift up the lid. Okay, so I'm going to stick you in the tank, and then hopefully you guys can hear me after I do that. So basically, this is our setup. I'm putting you in the tank right now. So that's her water bowl. We put her water bowl on the cold side, and then we have this long with 2 sticks, hi Sneaky, in the middle. So it's like, if you look at it this way, part of it is in the cold and part of it is where the heat lamp is. We do have 2 thermometers. We have one there and one here, so that way we can tell what the temperature and the humidity is on the cold side compared to what it is where the heat lamp is. However, they don't really recommend using a heating pad and a heat lamp, because the heating pad, it gets so hot so quickly and it stays so hot, it can actually break your glass, and it actually has happened to us. We had a heating pad. We were told we're supposed to use both. At nighttime you're supposed to use the heating pad, during the day you're supposed to use the heat lamp. Well, we tried that, and the heating pad actually shattered the tank we had before this, which was a lot wider. It's still a 40-gallon, but it was a lot wider. So it actually shattered it, and when we were, you know, cleaning it, making sure she didn't poop or anything like that, we noticed that it was shattered, so we had to go get another one. Well, that's when we found out you're not supposed to use both. Okay, a ball python actually only requires you using a heat lamp, and the heat lamp can actually be too warm for your snake. So you kind of need to just test it out, you know, see what it is. For a ball python, it is supposed to be in the tropical area. So right now our temperature is, hang on 1 second, let me see if I can show you guys too. Right now our temperature is between 90 and 100. I can't really tell. It's at 93, and our humidity is at 50, which is perfect right now. Now the dark side, I can't really tell. I would have to get my flashlight out and look. So as you can tell, she likes laying just like that on the log. So basically, we had like a log in here that had like holes in it to where she can go in and out of, but she got stuck. So I don't recommend using logs that are like that PetSmart recommends using, that technically go into a fish tank, because your ball python can get stuck in there, and in turn it will hurt them.
Mom, it's getting hot out there.
Go to bed. Go. So, yeah. So basically, okay, so now that I can actually, you see how, it won't let me zoom in anymore. You see how her tail, it like small, it's big, and then it goes small. Okay, so a male will be big all the way around till about right here, and then it's small the rest of the way. Now with my snake, excuse me. Now with my snake, she is very docile. She explores a lot. She's easy to take care of. She's still unsure about my dog, my pit bull Karma. Excuse me. But we'll figure it out. So, as you can see here, this is the coconut fiber bedding that we use. Gosh dang it, allergies. I'm so sorry, you guys. It just went from hot to cold where I am. And I'm having allergies right now. I'm okay. Let's see if I can... There we go. Okay, so the bedding that we are using is coconut fiber. It is highly recommended for ball pythons because if you use the aspen bedding, which is the wood chips, it can actually make them continuously stay stuck in shed. So each shed that they have, it will make them stay stuck in the shed. And they can actually get those wood chips stuck in their bodies, in their coils underneath, which is not good or very healthy for them. It can actually cause an infection. So for ball pythons, they highly recommend coconut fiber bedding. It works wonders. She literally, I don't know if you can see her little patterns in there, but she can literally just glide right through. I don't know if you guys can see those little lines, but she can literally glide right over this. It doesn't hurt her. There's nothing that will poke her or anything like that. And it's actually easier for the humidity wise, like when they're in shed. So that way, like if you guys had a spray bottle like this, you could mist it down, and the coconut fiber actually holds on to the moisture, which helps keep the humidity for the snake, so that way it can shed better. But if you don't use this, I mean, it's all up to you, but the best preference for ball pythons is the coconut fiber bedding. Also, when it comes to feeding time, you really don't want to feed them in their habitat where they sleep, where they explore, where they eat, drink, you know, whatever, where they drink, not eat. You don't want to feed them in there because they will get used to that smell being into their cage, and it can actually cause them to start striking at you, because every time you open the lid, it's going to make them think that it's feeding time when it's not. You're just trying to hold them. So it's best to get a second tank. It doesn't have to be another 40-gallon. It can, you know, with her size right there, it can be a 10-gallon, and then when she gets a little bigger, it can be a 20-gallon. You always want to take them out and feed them in a different container, a different tank than what they sleep and roam in. If you do that, then you want to wait until the pinky is out of her throat and like far down her body. When your snake starts exploring after eating, that's when it's okay to move them from the tank that you just fed them in back into their habitat. So that way you're not jostling them, or they're not being stuck in a smaller tank for the 2 days you can't really hold them. It is okay to move them as long as you're very gentle, because if not, then it can cause them to bring the pinky or mouse or rat, whatever, however big your snake is, whatever it's feeding on, it can actually cause them to regurgitate that, which can actually kill your snake. So when moving your snake back to, your ball python back to its habitat, you want to be very gentle, very careful, slow movements, nothing that's going to jerk your snake around and upset your snake's stomach. Because trust me, it will help. Our snake, we did make the mistake of feeding her in the habitat one time. It was the first time we did it, and since then we have changed her bedding so that way the smell of the pinky isn't in her tank, isn't in her habitat. I do feed her, I feed my snake frozen pinkies. Well, it's thawed out pinkies. I don't feel comfortable feeding her something that's cold. I feel like if it was cold, she wouldn't eat it. So basically what I do is I take a bowl, a clean, fresh, sanitized bowl, and you put like hot water or like warm water in it for 30 minutes, and you'll take this out of the package, and which they easily rip apart. I don't know if you can see those lines. They easily rip apart without opening the other package. And then you take the pinky that's right here out of this plastic wrapper, and you put it directly into the water. And then you wait 30 minutes, and then you get your tonsils, and you grab the pinky by the tail, and just dangle it in front of the snake. Some ball pythons, I've noticed, they like to strike, and then they'll just leave it alone and try and like watch it or protect it. And a lot of ball pythons, they like strike and coil around it, as you can tell, or if you watch my other 2 videos on my snake, she strikes when eating. Now these are baby pinkies, and they are furry, so okay, go dump it and wipe your butt. I refuse. I will not give my snake live feedings because that can actually harm my snake. And I care for my snake, and I want to take good care of her. I'm gonna put these back in here before they thaw from me talking to you guys. But I care for my snake, and I don't want her getting hurt, because another mouse could actually hurt her if they were to go in there and wipe your butt. If they were to bite her, or like if she was 6 feet long and it was time for her to eat a rabbit and the rabbit was alive, those thumper feet can actually rip our guts out. Imagine what it would do to a snake. Okay, that's a snake's predator. There's a reason why when you get a baby snake from like a pet store or something, they highly recommend you feeding I'm not kissing your knee, pull your diaper up. They highly recommend feeding frozen or thawed. So I was told you can feed it half frozen, like unthaw the head, and it'll make it easier for it to go down. But honestly, in my opinion, I'm not gonna feed my snake a half frozen mouse. I'm just gonna de-thaw it. She seems to like it better that way. I tried feeding her frozen, which was the first mouse I fed her, and she didn't like it. She didn't strike at it, nothing. Then again, she also had those eye caps on. So we're gonna continue feeding her thawed pinkies until she graduates up to a mouse, and then it's gonna be a thawed mouse, and then it graduates up to a rat. So that is my little advice on what I do for my snake. Right now she's still on the log. I don't know if you can see her head right there. There's her head. And it goes down and around and up. So, and she has grown since we had her. When we first got her, she was literally the size of my palm. And I think the shed actually got her stuck, like it stunted her growth. So when I got the shed out, it seemed like she grew, and now she's eating, better, whole 9 yards. So that's that. If you guys want more videos about snakes, our snake, we do plan on getting another one, a male, and then eventually when they're old enough, we are going to mate them, and then possibly keep one of their babies and sell the rest. So if you want to see more snake videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back in a week with another video of our snake eating. Thanks guys, have a great day.